We have some educational content today, so get out your Peppo G. Yeah, I try to teach you the basics and also how you get a good time on that one, on those maps. So that will be interesting, because I think everyone can learn something on those maps, and I can also learn something. To myself, I played Trackmania for 14 years, I'm a professional caster, and I would say that I have a quite deep game knowledge of the game. Of course, I'm not the best, but I still know what's going on and why you do stuff. So let's start with the first map. As I said, the records might be a bit outdated, because I downloaded them yesterday. Yeah. Okay, so let's check out this map. It is map number 1. Yeah, it's looking quite simple here. Because, yeah, just have a very tight start, 10 seconds, nothing is happening. Now, 450 speed. You see an SD that has been held here from all the players. And then you want to cancel it and go into an S4D. You can see the small brake tab there. Boop. And you just do a long slide here. And now it's very important to oversteer in this part and get another SD, then release and jump into the ending. So this map is kind of simple, but it's also quite hard to get, because you have to nail all of those 3 SDs. If you oversteer too early on that part, so you can use action key 4 there at the end, you will steer, like, you will just land, or you will just oversteer the slide itself. So if you oversteer like here, you will end up in the wall there, here to the left, and not get the angle. So that's why you want to get a late SD and just a little more speed. But you can see all players jumping over the boosters. You can also jump on the boosters if you don't feel comfortable with that one. But of course, this map is quite simple, so there's not really much to tell you about. I think the S4D is quite important, but also the turn looks really, really hard to do. So let's go with Trackmania here, who's on 3rd place. Goes for a different approach, so he goes a bit further inside here, almost hits the thingy there. And then you have a very blind corner here. You don't really see that, so you have to like pray. And then of course just smooth steer there and then get a nice slide. Actually, Trackmania got it really well, but it wasn't quite enough. You can also angle your car, it might be a bit easier. I think there's still some more possible, but let's just go to the next map, because this one is quite simple. Oh my, holy fuck, dude. Musste mich so erschrecken, Mama. Ey. Oh my god, all of a sudden, my mom stands next to me and, dude, just... Oh my god, dude. My heart just skipped a beat, dude. Oh my god, dude, what was that? Dude. Wow. Dude, she was just... Why 10 euro? Alright, anyway, next map. Let's go to map 02 and try to learn something here. So what you want to do is avoid the water. I'm not sure if they even hit that, but I don't think so. Isn't Trackmania the cheater? Yes, he is. But he has been streaming a bit. So this map, very tight start. Don't hit the grass. If you hit the grass with any of, like, a little bit of the wheels, you will slow down. As well as here. So just a simple start. Also, like, go with an apex that you hit the more inside line and set yourself up nicely for that turn, that you stay inside there. Then, of course, go very tight there as well. Set yourself up for the turn. Release the steering to not get any airtime here, and don't drift. You can drift a little bit, but don't drift more like that. Else you will slow down, so you want to end up in 2 skids and then just go very close to the water. You want to SC there, by the looks of it, and don't get watery tires. So you see, the players go over there, but I don't think that they trigger them. I mean, maybe they get a little bit of watery tires, but I would be surprised. Maybe that even helps you. But I would be very, very surprised about that. Then just hold a very, very good line at the end, and then you get the author medal on this map. So let's take a look onto that line, because you want to enter very far to the right. That has the reason. If you enter more left, you will just go further up the wall ride, and with that you oversteer and also travel more distance. So you want to go very low here and then hit the booster as early as possible without oversteering, because you still have reactor boost. You don't want to hit the booster very early. So I think this map is also quite simple. I think you could still SD the ending, like with an oversteer movement or something. Maybe someone did that. Maybe someone did that there, but I'm not quite sure. maybe that's also a bit too advanced, and of course it will only gain you a couple of thousands there. But I could still think that this could work out, but I'm not sure if it's worth it in that way. Maybe a little bit. But again, let's take a look onto the map. So small slide here, no slide there, then enter it quite nicely. Get a nice slide, because if you like hold a smooth angle on grass and don't oversteer, your car will also accelerate faster. You travel less distance by going over the water. And then just do an SD there and just accumulate as much speed as possible. I think also quite simple map. So I think there's not too much to talk about. So let's go to map 3. You know, let's make that a quick one. And yeah, hello Brazina as well, and everyone else in the chat. So let's go to map 3 here and see what we have on that one. And see what we can find here. So we have a water part. Would actually be cool to see the inputs. Okay, interesting. So we have already a no set on this map. And then also a gear there, which you have to hold and then no set on that part. And then get a no set in the ending and just an SD. So I think the ending is quite straightforward, to be honest. But I think there's a lot to talk about at the start. So the no set here to the left. Then open up the steering to get gear 3. Go over the water. Then you can do a small slide and then gear up. I think that's very important to get that gear. And then do a no slide into a full steer and into another no slide. To just get the most amount of speed there. Which is really important. Then you gear up again. And then after that you can wiggle. Ah, he actually, you can see it here. Sapir failed it a bit. He got a no slide there. And you see how much time he lost due to that. So you see, he wanted to go for a wiggle here, but he didn't get it. And yeah, look there. And look how much speed he lost. You see it there. It's like a lot of speed that he lost with that. By just not getting the SD there in the ending. So there's still a lot of potential on this map, I would say. Open up the steering there. Then get that one. I actually want to see that from a different POV. This part there. Yeah, we could actually do some music, but the music is bugged, as always. So you can see, that's really important to get the earlier gear up. You want to steer into a no slide, and then open up the no slide in that way. So you see it's like a very, very fine input. Here again. So you like do an SD, you open up the steering, you gear up, and then you go into the no slide. And then after that, after a couple of, like only milliseconds, you go into the full steer, you get a nice angle for that, and then go into another oversteer and then into a no slide that you want to hold up until the water, preferably. One person has failed it here, as you can see it there. It was this guy, so let's see how much time he lost actually. Actually, that was a different line. But this one was quite good because with that oversteer
here, I bought the world's worst thesaurus yesterday. Not only is it terrible, but it's also terrible.
Well, yeah, it's not the top 5, Monkey. It is, the thing is, I downloaded the maps 1 week ago, but I was busy on Tuesday, so the top 5 is outdated, but I think it's still good to see that. So you see here the oversteer movement, and with that he gets the nosedive. And with that nosedive, he lands a little bit on that part here, and gets a better line there. Lands very awkwardly, but you see how wide he sets up and how much speed he has. Oh my god, that's an insane line actually. That is an insane line. Look how much he caught up. I think this one has a lot of potential, if done correctly. But a very nice map. So congrats, Monkey, of reaching top 5. But I wasn't interested to download 125 more replays, to be honest. Super sorry. You know, that takes a long time. But thank you so much, Brazina, for the 100 bits and for that awesome joke. Also don't know what's going on with the music, but it's not there. I have no idea. Yeah. So I just try to also understand what is going on, because usually all of those maps have some tricksters. So let's go to map 4 and see what's going on there. and see what we can find on that one. I'm probably not gonna analyze that because this map is shit. Yeah. So we have ice. We have ice wiggles. For me, like, to be honest, this is by far the worst campaign map that any campaign has experienced. This is so bad. Like, this map is terrible. Like, that's just my opinion. Like, I think this one is just a scam, to be honest. I am not a fan of that, and I will never play that. So you can see ice wiggles there. And if you then... that you see one person, he had to oversteer, and with that oversteer movement, and I think that's what you can take away from that. If you don't slide and your car is angled, or even if you slide and you angle too much, you get a slowdown. Yeah, your car will get a penalty. So that's the thing that you want to avoid. So I think tip, if you struggle with that map, just try to get the, like, drive proactively, try to set up before the turns, and like, just like, try not to turn as much as possible. But I'm just gonna go to the next map because this map is absolutely terrible. I don't want to give it any screen time. I think it's just a scam that we have this one in the campaign. Anyway, let's go to map 5 and see what we have there. I think map 5 was already a bit better. But in general, this campaign is very simple. It's a very, very full speed hefty, so, you know, we hardly have anything in there. Maybe a gear here and there, but also here it's just going very, very tight to the corners. Just accumulate as much speed as possible and get the best line as you get it there as well, and then get a zoop in the ending here, which can happen eventually. I think Giuliano did a good time here, and he was very surprised by that. I've seen a video from that. But I think if you struggle with this AT metal here, just try to set up a bit wider for this turn, and then stay on the inside, not that much of course, and then cut the corner here, like very early as well. Maybe not that early, maybe further from the right, that you land somewhere here, like here to the right. Do you even see my cursor? Just where my face cam is, like here, you know? And then try to get that turn here correct. This turn is really important to get as much speed as possible. And then the zoom at the ends, well, it just reacts to things. It's dependent on your angle and how your car is like wobbling and bouncing. I think you can still push a lot. You can see different lines there. One person got an illegal time there. I think that was this guy here. Yeah, look, he just got 3 zoops or something and a perfect approach. So it's just praying for the ending. But there's literally just 2 parts that are important, and that's the start, or like 3 parts. The start, then the penalty surface section, and then how your angle after that one is. So you have to go very close here. You can also hit, because with that you will approach or enter very far to the I wouldn't say it's RNG, but I think it's RNG how your car wobbles after that part. So if you get it correct and how your car is hovering over the part. Because you go a bit diagonal over that and you can see the nose went down here from that guy. So I think that's what got him the zoop, and you see that all of the noses went down. I think it's not RNG, but it's hard to just get it consistent. That's what I would say. Because of course you hover over it differently every time, because you just have a little bit more or less speed. I think you just trial and error and figure it out. I think this map is alright for a campaign map, because it's quite simple. But, well, the zoop, I mean, Giuliano also got it quite random. But what you want to do is like already angle your car in the air. And then like get like up to 90 degree in the ending. And not over angle too much. So gradually over angle and oversteer it. But also Spazgos, nah, don't worry about it. Spazgos, thank you for the resub as well. You don't have to be sorry for those alerts. I really appreciate your guys' support today. Already so many resubs. I really, really appreciate that. So that is this map. I think also quite simple map here. And let's go to map 4. Map 6, I mean, not going back to map 4. And see what's going on there. What was map 6 again? Ah, this one. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, I think there's a little bit more to talk about. Let's follow Cabby here. See what he did. I think he's also the world record holder on this map. So quite simple start. Then get a no jump here. Diagonal line, just accumulate speed. Then do some SDs on that on that plastic section. Then here, you can hit the checkpoint to reduce airtime. You see Cabby did it nicely. Got a bit more speed, and now we have a wall bounce here. With that Nadeo sign, you can wall bounce and just get a way better line, else it's getting a bit awkward. And also, one reason why you do that is not only because you get a better setup, or like just a better bounce, but also you get a better angle for this left turn in the end. Then Cabby got a, oh my god, what is this guy doing? Oh Lord in heaven. Huh? What? Okay, interesting horn. But there you see it. Also right side is faster here, because you have to enter that left turn from the right. So that's why I want to go there. You lose a bit of time there. And, well, you can't do that hit there. So, I think it's not that easy. But Cabby got it quite nicely. Let's see this one here, though, from the perspective from Super Max. So you see everyone is doing it, and you want to, like, aim for the E of Nadeo. And then steer to the left here. This cut looks fun, actually. So usually you would end up like way further on the right side and just have a harder time to control it. So you can still gain a little bit more in the ending. Cabby got it really well, actually, the ending. That's what got him the world record. So this guy was completely in the mud. Okay, with a really good line. Minimize the airtime accordingly. Like you see, he already lands there. The person just lands there. So Cabby had a bit more speed and overtook there in the ending. So also well done from Cabby there. And I mean from the other players as well. Still more possible, but I think just hunting a map like that with a bounce can be quite hard. Let's take a look onto that again though. How you want to hit that. So everyone aims for the second sign. And then like, okay, no, there's a different line actually. Pussy Tobacco went for that one. What the fuck is he doing? Okay, Pussy Tobacco bounces again. But you see, with the water bounce doing it again, and that's why you do it, because you only want to water bounce once. Look how much speed he lost. So that's why you do it. You only want to water bounce one, and it drags you down and gets you up again. That's why you go into that sign like that. That's really important to do. But of course, you can also go normal. I think on this map, it's really important to not oversteer. And let's go to map 7. Map 7. Map 7. I think also a map that was a map that I played a bit actually. But also here we have like a very, very awkward gear that you have to hold and to get already the start. You want to do that because then you can like get more left side, more left approach without losing speed. Then get an get a no slide there into a full steer. And then you don't want to gear up in the drift. But I mean, this map is also very simple. It's 27 seconds. Ending is just 20 seconds of staircase by the looks of it. You know, start is like just getting a good turn. And then you want to cut it here a little bit. Then you want to counter steer, or you can counter steer. People are doing it a bit later to counter your rotation. And then steer to the left in order to get further to the left. Because you're two wheels, of course your car can slow down. But what you want to try is just to get as far left as possible with that. That's why you want to land with two wheels. Else you would end up a bit further to the right. And you just get a better approach for that turn here. Which is really important to get a better apex and just get more speed. Then do a no slide here. Into a full steer movement. Or like, is it a no slide? It's rather, it's not a no slide. It's like a speed slide, you know? You see it here. Maybe a bit better. Just a very tiny speed slide there. Or a no slide. Is it a no slide or speed slide? I'm not so sure. I mean, you're gear 4, so you want to slide, right? You want to slide, and I think you just don't really see the skids there. So the tighter your angle is, the better. And then set up to the left. Don't hit anything there. And then gear up when you have 2 skids. That can be quite awkward on this map. I really, really disliked it when you hunted it. So for that, you need like a good approach from that corner. And also the oversteer is very important. That you slow down accordingly and get yourself the angle for the ending. So that's what I have to say about that map, actually. Not more than that. Not more than that. If you have any questions, guys, just go ahead and ask them. I try my best to go through the campaign as quickly as possible, because I'm not really the biggest fan of this campaign. I'll be honest with you guys. I'll be honest with you. Okay, we have the next map. Map 08. We have a plastic hit at the start to land earlier. Then, counter, or like just don't steer to get the angle. And now we have this part here where you can just jump through this one, which is really hard. It saves a bit of time, but I think you don't have to do that if you want to go for the AT medal. When I played matchmaking, I've seen one person doing, I think, the deadliest mistake on this map, and he just jumped way too far to the left here. You want to jump as close as possible to that lantern here, like somewhere here to the left. You can also oversteer, but just get a smooth steering movement in, then get a drift, and you don't want to lose fourth gear there. You can then also do a nose slide there, like just a smooth steering movement, and then just accumulate as much speed as possible. But again, there's not too much going on this map. We can just watch the start again, because I think that's the most important part. You want to hit the top sign there, and since it's like a cycle, you will always hit that block there. Can be quite tricky to get that one, but you see they hit it here, like a little bit above the middle, and then you're fine. And then you will just land smooth. And you do that because not only do you reduce airtime a bit, but also you will land smoother and your car will angle a bit towards that left turn that you're doing. And then get the booster, get it as far right as possible that you get as much forwards velocity as possible. And then if you gear up, you want to nose slide. And then do some small SDs again. Minimize airtime here. You can get a small SD there actually, as you've seen Arizel doing it. Like Arizel got a very, very small SD on this part. Well, I mean, just have to trust me in that way. Let's see what the others are doing. Okay, this guy's not SDing. So you see that he lost a bit of time. Like just maybe like one wheel of time he lost. But of course he got a really good approach there. Then here, you know, get a good apex. Go very inside actually, because the further up you go, the more speed you lose. And then you're just gonna get in the nose set and gear up again. And then do a very smooth ending. And well, that's it. That's all she wrote on this map. I think also rather simple map. So that's why it's not that hard. Let's go to map 9. Select all. Confirm. Zack. Edit. Boom. There you go. Whew. Okay, so we have the next map. I just missed the start. I'm sorry. Map 9. So a lot of SDs at the start. You know, just smooth steer and then just cancel the slide when you gear up. Then of course you're in gear 5, so you cannot gear down anymore. Oh, very wide line there actually. I thought that you go a bit further from the left, but you don't. Then go further up, oversteer a bit in the ending. And I think now it's the, I think you can get a small SD there. Okay, this ending is really odd, to be honest. This ending is really odd. So there's not too much happening at the start, other than you gear up here, and you have to open up the steering a bit, else you get a gear bug. Then get a nose slide there in this corner and approach this turn from as much right as possible. You see they're already preparing the slide or the approach there from that part. And then go to the left to be as much left as possible, as much right as possible, and then just go very, very like tight around that corner, because the more you steer on plastic, the more speed you lose. So you want to minimize your steering angle as much as possible. And then actually this line is interesting. I would have taken it like that, like Cam did. Then another SD, like another SD section on this part. As well as here, that's why you go so far up, because you want to minimize the steering as much as possible. I think it's quite, like, it's very important that you understand what you have to do. Like, if you go up early, like here on the left, if you go up early, you will, like either hit the wall or you have to oversteer lots. So that's why they already enter the wall right beforehand and then angle or like enter with an angle, so they already start the turn earlier. You know, if you enter here, you start the turn way too late. You have more, or you have less. You have to do the same turn with less distance, if that makes sense. So that's why they already enter the turn like that, and then just get a good and smooth line. Then you can do another SD there because you're above 400 speed, and also the ending. Oh, maybe you've seen that here. That's like a small trick that seems not viable for hunting or whatever. Or like only viable for hunting. So you see, this is plastic. Or like you can just bounce off of that and you just get way more speed. So it's like a little bit of a speed boost in the end. This looks actually a fun map to hunt with that small trick. But it's just a full plastic map with one tricky turn. That right-hander that is coming up there. This one there. And that's really it. It's just applying the basic rules of Trackmania. How do you even miss the start in Trackmania? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, map 10. Select all. Edit. Boom, 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 boom. Map 10 also has a very, very simple start. You can go for some ice wiggles. It's like a very distinct rhythm that you have to hold. And then actually, one thing that I noticed here on this map as well. You see here. You see the arrows up and down. That means that this here is a reverse booster. Yeah, this one here, this ring is reverse. So you don't want to get that one. You want to go in between here and then get that booster. I think it's even better due to that because you get a better angle for that turn here. But that's just something really, really important. Oh, also here, get yourself a no slide. It reminds me of one other campaign map that you've had to just accumulate as much speed as possible. And then just do that part here full speed. Do a wall ride. You know, just don't really have to. You can steer though, like. And then just tap a little bit after that. And go for that booster. Again, there's those up and down arrows. So you want to go for that one here. Like, the problem here on this part is, if you steer too much beforehand here, your car will just unpredictably go somewhere else. So you want to steer very carefully. That's what you have to do. Steer very carefully on that part. We see an ice wiggler here. Worked out a bit. He got like 2 or 3 more speed. But I think the most important part is that angle there, that you want to avoid the ring. And also get that no slide. Which is... This map seems fun, to be honest. And then here, of course, don't hit the grass. Go like that. Steer left and then tap, 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 tap. Just, you know, be very careful with your steering there. You don't want to over angle, else you will get a penalty. And also all the boosters here seem to be reverse. So the one that you take is the only non-reverse booster. So that's what you have to do. Okay, select all. Map 11 already. We're gonna go through it a bit faster today. Because I will not spend that much time on this campaign, I assume. You have to start a small wiggle also to get the gear. And what you want to do is you want to gear up before the booster. And then it's literally just a long SD on this part. Just gentle turning. And then go to the left here. So this map is very, very boring in the ending. It just steer as smooth and gentle as possible. So what you do here, you go into gear 3. Then you do a small wiggle to go into gear 4. After you gear up, you do an SD. Do a wiggle there, gear up, counter the steering, and then do an SD over the whole loop here. You know, just get a very smooth line and a good entry into that turn. It's really guiding. And I think also Shadow Crancer just displays that one perfectly. Also how he holds his SD angles. It's very clean driving from the French player. Also nearby the ending. So let's see his start. So, wiggle, no steer, gear up, holding the SD, left, right. And now he counter steers because his car gears up now. And then just hold a long SD there. You can oversteer a bit. He also does that there. You've seen it. But of course you have to take the turns. And you just got a very, very good wall ride with that. But of course, probably lost a little bit of speed with that. But yeah, the gear up looks really hard, to be honest. It's also really hard to just threaten the needle and just hesitate in that way. But you see it here, like, I think this person, Chris, did it really, really nicely here. Of course, if you want to take the turn, you have to oversteer a bit. Everyone is doing that. Well, that's it. I mean, this is a very simple map for a blue map, which is kind of not unfortunate. I mean, it has a lot of things to offer, but it's just way too simple in that way and lacks creativity. But could be a fun map to hunt though, because grass with the gears can be a lot of fun. Okay, map 12. Map 12. Let's see, what was that one again? Ah, this one. Okay, I played that one a bit. So long as the other start, minimize airtime accordingly, as well as there. Don't get a bump there. Don't get airtime there as well. And now, like, this landing is really important on this map. But let's first check out the run before we're gonna go into the analyzation. Wow, such a close top 5. Interesting. So now let's go with Corny. So when I played this map, it was really hard for me to get that SD here at the start. It's literally all about the angle. That you're not hesitating to go as tight as possible. Because like you see it here, like you have to go very tight and then hold the SD. And then oversteer a little bit there, because else you will not get that entry here. You will be too far on the left side, you will bounce, and you will not get as much speed as possible. And also here, they are not slowing down. They actually get another good approach for the next turn, which is important. Then, of course, setting that one up there as well. And then you can, like, if you enter it too far up, you will fly off. If you enter it too far down, you will not get that bump. So you need to use the banking of that quarter pipe block to rotate your car. And again, set up for the next turn. Do another SD. Go very tight down there to do SDs. And then do another SD at the end. So again, very simple map. Not too much to say about that one, other than maybe getting the gear 5 before the thingy, but I think that's self-explanatory. And don't get too much airtime there, so that's literally it. Like, not much to tell about that one. Like, it is quite simple, to be honest. It is a very simple map. But yeah, the gear up on the previous map was not consistent, I agree. Okay, let's go into this one. I played this map a little bit though, so I think I can have some more input here. I think I'm still top 100 on this map. Or maybe even not, probably not. So here, at the start we already have a trick that you can release. They want to go into the internal overview there for the start, because that's what you should do. But let's first talk about the start, because here, you can release for a bit. You see here, players are accelerating all a bit later. And you do that to land a bit earlier, a bit more inside. And since it's a banking or a slope, your car you will get more speed out of it. So the time loss that you have gotten from releasing at the start will vanish due to that. Who's gotten the best start? This guy, Hobbit. So Hobbit then enters very far to the right, because you want to minimize the steering on the grass, and you can also bounce here a little bit. So then you get the reactor boost, and the reactor boost also drags you down a little bit here, that you get a smooth landing. And then just release a bit. Very important that you not drift there. That is very, very important on this map. That is very important, that you don't drift here. And then don't go too far to the left. You have to release a little bit, because you want to end very, very tightly on that checkpoint arch there. And then also steer a little bit on the water and land, really land. in a slide, which is really important. If you don't land in a slide, you lose a lot of speed, and then just speed slide all the way up without getting too much airtime or not any airtime at all. So very cool map to play. I really like to hunt that. Maybe the start is a bit annoying, but also here, like, you want to go as diagonal as possible to minimize the distance traveled, and then just stay very far on the right, and then get a little bit of a bounce, but don't lose air control, or like don't lose control of the car. Then enter very far from the left to that you don't drift. And you see this guy was a bit too far to the right, and you see how much speed he loses compared to the others. I mean, it's like maybe 3 speed or whatever, but he lost the run due to that, because he was oversteering too much on the grass, and that's why he slowed down. I think that's what was a good illustration. I think for a team medal, it's important, not really going for the cut, but make sure to not really slide that turn here, and also not get airtime in the ending. You can try to go for the cut, but the cut is quite awkward with the approach. But if you steer very far, if you approach very far from the right, it kind of guides you into that one. So it is alright. It is alright in that way. So 13 also done. Not too much to talk about that one. Even though I've played it, I couldn't add more than that. So let's go to 14. Map 14. The map that I played with Lars. The map that I played with him. So let us see what everyone has cooked here. Let's go with Chardonnay. So you have a nose slide here. You do that nose slide because with that you gear up earlier. But this nose slide is not easy to do. I think it's an action. I'm not sure if it's an action key. Probably it is. Probably action key 4, I would assume, or 3. And then this part here, like, oh my god, this part is so weird. Because you wanna land not in a drift, and then SD the ending. And of course, avoid everything there. Okay, so start. Quite simple on this map. But it's really important where you land here. Because this SD is very dependent of where you land. Like, this guy was almost to inside, but actually got it quite well. Let's see, I think that was Shadow Crancer. Let's see what he did, actually. Shadow Crancer went for a lot of speed there. Look at that. Interesting line. But of course, with that, he has to oversteer this part. So he lost a little bit of speed again, but actually got that one really, really well. Wow. Interesting. Shadow Crancer with a very, very good line there. And I see why he went for that one, because he just got more speed out of that one. So you just see how much more speed he got. If you take a look onto that again. So Shadow Crancer is the person furthest to the left, and then goes a bit more inside than the others. And you also see him opening when his car gears up. And that's why he didn't slow down too much, because of course we learned if you steer when you gear up while in a drift, your car will slow down. So Shadow Crancer canceled his slide, which is very, very hard to do to get that nose set at all. Like you see this small tab there. Like this small tab is it. Look at that. Again? Have you guys seen it? Real POV? This small tab here. That is how much game knowledge he has. And that's why he has more speed, because then he just exits wider, but he gets a nose slide as well as the others. But look how much more speed he has. If we take a look here, like, wow, impressive. So that's the line that is the fastest. Well done, Shadow Crancer. Good find, but it's extremely hard to do. It is an extremely hard line to do from Shadow Crancer. And of course, then you want to air brake that part here, go as inside as possible, and also get a small SD there that you just initiate with the slopey slope from the road. But yeah, it's insanely hard to do, because if you open up your steering, you running into danger of being too outside. So that's why this line is really hard. But it's great to find something like that there's different lines. But let's take a look onto, let's actually take a look onto Pusti, how he did the start. Because he just full steered, and you see it here. He actually got it quite well, but just look at the speed difference. And of course, you want to do that boop, because the more you not steer, the further outside you are. So I would recommend to not go for that Shadow Crancer line, even though it's faster, but it looks incredibly hard to do. It's still incredibly hard to do. Also here, this is important that you be here. This is really, really important that you just get a very smooth landing here. You can also get an additional SD. And also where you land here. You don't want to land too far to the right, then you have to oversteer the plastic. And you don't want to land too far to the left. Because you want to enter this one with as little angle as possible. And you don't want to steer at the first couple of milliseconds when you land. Okay, but I think that's the map. So you can air brake here. I think that doesn't matter too much. And also don't hit anything in the end. Okay. Unselect all. Let's go for 15. Yeah. But at least I now know how to get... You're welcome, Ross. You're welcome, mate. You are absolutely welcome. I hope you learned something. Okay, map 15. Oh god, dude. Wait, Amaterasu's here. Ama guy. Ama type 1. So since you have watery tires, you want to release it, you don't want to drift. And the water tires are gone here. Go for a nice slide. Dip the water. And then actually, okay, never mind. You can also get that one without a slide. I thought that you slide there, actually. Wait, what the fuck? Where's... What? Dude, what is that world record from Hobbit? Let's take a look here. Wait a second. Gaps are insane on this map. Hobbit already had the best start. Then had a really good drift as well. Accumulated a lot of speed. And then just went for a very, very good line. Was very careful with his acceleration, and look how much speed he has. For the ending here, if you oversteer, so you want to use an action key or just tap, you can slide out, and if you slide out, you will lose a lot of speed. But Hobbit has a really fast time. Like, what the hell is going on here? 31.9, he's... Dude, my guy's 0.4 ahead of Desi. And Desi's 5th world record. But yeah, I mean, it's water, so it can be quite hard to estimate that. You can... I would assume that you just need to create a feeling. But I think no sliding that part here. And then getting a drift there. And as well as drifting that part here to the right. Will get you the AT medal. Like, you can slide that part here. And then maybe just counter steer. Or just continue the slide. But it's not an easy map to control. That's what I've realized when I have played it myself. It is definitely not that easy. Can also enter very wide here to get that nose slide, but you have to release a lot. Else you will just slide out. And also still here, you have to release to get that angle for the turn as well. Which is really important. And then here you can also just smooth steer and be very, very cautious with your releasing. And then get a small drift there. Oh my god, actually, wait a second. What did Cabby... Did Cabby do an SD there? I think he did. Look, oh, look at that. Look at Cabby's line. Cabby was behind here. And went for a slide. Had a bit less speed than the others, but also a wider approach into that turn. But since he went wider, he could oversteer on that part and then go for a small SD there. And look how much more speed he has. Interesting line from Cabby. I think this one has potential. Maybe this one was already beaten, probably. But nice line there, nice find. A bit different also with that slide. If you feel comfortable with that slide, I think it's still fine. But this map seems very hard to do. Okay, map 15, also in the books. Let's go with 16. Select all, zack, confirm, edit. Zaki zaki. Okay, already the start. There's a gear that you have to get. You don't want to stay on the gear. Here it doesn't matter because you have reactor boost. We see a different line there from one of the players. Also here, crazy shenanigans. Into a bug slide. Into a no slide. And then get another no slide there. So everything is full speed up until the ending here. It feels like. So then, of course, open up your steering when you gear up. I want to see that line here, real quick, from that guy. Who was that? Corny was that. Let's see Corny's line at the start. Went super inside. And then went for a small bug slide. Actually, this one is not that bad, but you lose control there and your car wobbles. So you see, you lost a lot of time there. And that's why the others came closer, but actually you got a really good approach due to that one. Like, he got more speed than the others with that one. And then was able to oversteer and jump over that part where the others were still on the ground. Or like, they get penalized by the penalty surface. And he could just bug slide. So he got so much speed out of that one, actually. Wow. Insane line from Corny. Insane stuff. Insane line from him. So I think if you want to get the AT medal, it's really important that you go outside there. And then just try to survive. You don't really need to care about that gear. But you can also release here a bit to get a smooth landing and that one. Or just do the Corny approach. But also here, like, what worked for me is to stay as much in the middle as possible, like somewhere here. But of course the world record line tries to minimize airtime. Or even get a small zoom there. By angling your car a bit and tilting it a bit. And then also do no slides there. Then do this part full speed. And then just start to release here to get a no slide. Actually, Lyrus got it really well. And also the line here goes to the right. I actually went left of the tree. But of course it's also about traveling as little distance as possible. Okay. That was 16. Let's go to 17. We're almost done though. Alright, see you later, man. See you later. Let's go to 17. Always cool to see though. Always cool to see how the records are doing it. So let's see 17. So this was of course an identity. I think it was quicksand if I recall it correctly. Minimize airtime, do a right-left steering, that your nose goes down. Then try to get as much from the non-penalty surface as possible. With setting yourself up nicely for that turn as well. Same here. Same there. Preferably also get gear 5. Then do a small SD there. Get a good landing. Going outside. And then you can go over the water here. And hover into the finish. Which is faster than going over the penalty surface, obviously. But it's hard because you can clip corners. You can get it really bad. And it's very hard to control. At least when I tried it. And a little speedy, by the way. So, that's what it is. I think for AT medal, it's important that you get that start here. That left-right. And get no airtime. And then just make sure and be aware that you don't be too far to the right here already. I think you want to take that turn more left than you think. And hit that part as a resemblance point. And then just take that gap as an indicator. Give or take, and then of course just aim for the checkpoints. As well as here, approach from the right. And then just take that part here as an indicator again, which guides you. And you want to hold 5th gear. Then you can do some small SDs, stay very wide here. Then just, I think this landing wasn't that good. Actually, it worked out quite well, but you oversteer here a lot. Like you see, this guy oversteered a lot here. And that's how he lost a lot of speed. By the looks of it, of course, he traveled more distance. But I would recommend probably to jump more to the right here. Like this guy. And just get a better line into that part. Just looks way better. And for the ending, well, if you feel lucky, you can do that here. So just aim for that and then just whoop, which looks really awkward. But you can also just go over the penalty surface, starting from, like, approach also from the very, very left, and then steer earlier to the right. That you maybe just take that one or that one with you. But you can fail that one pretty easily. But it's very hard to control that one here as well. Okay, map 18. Edits. Edit. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. Dude, I went so hard in the gym today. Holy fuck. Okay, map 18. I think one of the hardest AT medals of the campaign. So there's a lot of boosters on this map. I think you can take a couple of them at the start. You can see it here. Just a no-slide fiesta. And then if you have as much speed as possible, you can hit the top and then make it into the ending. So what helped me to get that AT is I either went for this booster here or this one here to the left. I think this doesn't give you the best angle. And then I also went here to the right, actually. And then I smooth steered and released a bit. And went for this booster here. But I think, like, you wanna go for that one, of course. You wanna go for much more speed as possible. Then release a bit at the ends to not get the slide. And just get an SD there. You can get, like, a right-left, like this guy here. Where is it? Like, I think Tix did it quite well. Because he actually got it quite well. Like, look, he just steers to the left and his nose goes up. Quite a lot. And with that, he just got a really, really good ending. So you can do a left-right at the start. I think it's not that important. I think the most important factor is that you realize that you can take this booster here with a good angle. But you can also go for the red booster. You can go for those ones here as well. They, of course, give you a better angle and better apex for the turn. But it will be very hard to control here for that one. I think it's action key 4. But, of course, you're above 600 speed. So if you full steer, you will slide out. So what I did, I went... Now you can probably take that booster and also this one then, but you can also just avoid them here to the left and then just release a bit and then full steer. But this line makes more sense. I also hit this booster here in my PB, this one here, and then I full slid, but I think not sliding is better. So maybe try to no slide the ending in that way, but I just want to give some more options here. And of course, I didn't hit the plastic. I just went to the left there. Which, or I just jumped into the finish, which can also be very hard. So you want to avoid the booster in the end, actually. You don't want to hit the booster if you don't have as much speed as those guys. So I didn't went for this, or I didn't go for this booster here. And I think, no, I didn't avoid that one. Of course, this one helps you a little bit even. So, very hard. Of course you can tap, but this map is very, very hard to get. But I think it's a cool concept of a map. So that's what I like. I respect that new idea. Action key 4.5. Is it really? I think this one here is one of the best campaign maps. You have a start where you want to jump smoothly into that one. Then not gear up there. Yeah. And go for a no side. Hello, Emma as well. Welcome. Get a good landing in there. And of course, now you have watery tires, which will make that part a bit harder. You don't want to get airtime. Here, very important. You can get a zoop. Like those people got. But you want to... Like, it's very hard to get that one, actually. I think for hunting, it's fine. Then release in the end. You can hit the water a bit, but you will lose a bit of time. But, I mean, there's not too much going on this map. For a red map. Because the ending is just a pure straight. You have some slaloms here. You can set up very far from the right to get a good line and also go for a no slide, which gives you a lot of speed. And also the wiggle after that will gain you a lot of speed. Then go into the water, go close, you know, dip out of the water. Go smoothly over there to get as much speed as possible. And then go for the zoop, which you initiate by just wobbling your car a little bit from the pool border, or like from the pool entry, and then just, you know, uncontrollably, just because super reactor boost, your nose will just go up, and you see that they have a bit more speed. Then I think you can also release there a bit because you can hit the thing, and also here you can release a bit as well. If you hit the water, you lose a bit of speed, but not too much. Let's see what the WORLDRECORD did. Elcon, probably not anymore because it's a bit outdated. But Elcon's super wide and went for a very tight nose that has a good amount of speed. But right now it's only on 3rd position. He got this one quite well. Going up to 2nd. Let's take a look onto the zoop. Oh my god. Well. I mean, yeah. I mean, okay, that was very good. Like, Shadow Crancer was so far ahead, actually. You see it here. Like, he's literally, like, 2 car lengths ahead. And then Elcon is like, yo, see ya. So much speed with a zoop. I think it's not that hard. What you have to realize is, if your car wobbles like that, it will travel to the left. So you have to jump more right than you think. And you can control it steering in the air. Like how Elcon got that one. Wow, that's insane. I really want to take a look onto that one again because it looked actually crazy. His nose went a bit further up than the others, I think. And look, he just went further up. And with that, his car just went like that. It fell to the front and you just got more acceleration out of that one. So the further up your nose is, the better it is and the more speed you have. But of course it gets very hard to control. Because if you land somewhere like here, on those, on the left or right and not in the middle, you will just lose control. And also if you get a really wonky entry, you will lose control. You still need to do the turn afterwards with a nose set and preferably full speed like Elcon did it. Just went for the Hail Mary line. But very cool map. I think this is one of the better campaign maps. Just the ending, of course. There's not too much happening with that turn. But also the ending can be quite hard to nail. Alright, let's go to map 20, I think. Yeah. Map 20 now. So we have 6 more maps. Including that one, of course. And let us see what is going on there. I played this map a little bit as well. I think I got like top 30 or whatever. Probably not anymore. Probably it's like top 100 now. So diagonal start to minimize airtime accordingly and get a good jump. Then I found this part pretty hard. Because the entry into that one is very odd. And also you need to hit the rhythm to not get airtime. You need to steer right, left, right, left. It's very odd. I wasn't a fan of that one. Then you can get a zoop. You do a zoop by air braking. I just timed it perfectly. You see Haskell air braking there. And then land in an SD. And also, don't get an SD there because that one will just kill your momentum as well as there. Like, you want to get an SD after the reactor boost. And then here, perfectly illustrated. He's at 600 speed and he oversteers now. So you see what happens. I think that Haskell shows us this one perfectly. What is happening? So he's above 600 speed just in that moment because he full speeds that turn. Okay? You see here? 599, 93, 94, 95, 99, 600. And in that moment when he oversteered. when he full steered, his car starts to slide. So what you want to do here is you want to release, get the turn with a release, and then full accelerate, and preferably go over 600 around that turn with sliding a bit, because you can use that slide to your advantage. You can get a small SD out of that one, and you see it here. He got a bit more speed than his opponent. So that's why he has overtaken him there. Then one thing that actually happened to me, you can hit both slow-mo blocks. So if they hit that one there, they would get a double slowdown. So you don't want to get that one. Then do a small SD there as well, and then that's the ending. So this map is really cool as well, a very nice full speed map, but I think we should take a look onto the middle part of this map again, because I think it's quite hard to get that one after the zoop. So the zoop, just tap brake, just right when you just when you exit the thing. You don't want your nose to go down, you want to get a little bit of a speed boost. I think Tix got it quite well. And he also gives us an overview of when you want to air brake. So you see, like, he exits. Oh, wait, fuck the camera. He exits and then he air brakes. And look how much speed he got out of that one. Let's go into the internal view and see what he did. So he then enters very, very harshly. Then smooth steers. And goes for an SD here. So you don't want to SD that part there. Actually, virtual overslit here to go into the SD. Actually, well done from virtual. And then he didn't get as much speed as Tix, but still both players did it quite well. I think virtual came a bit closer in the ending. Yeah, he did actually. Got a good ending, but very nice map. I think if you want to get the alpha medal, just make sure to get the zoop and try to enter this wall here. You want to enter it a bit further from the right with a quite steep angle, that you go very inside to that one and also inside to here, and then like just exit it somewhere here on the left, and don't go too far to the right, because you don't want to drift there. You only want to exit this one with an SD, which is really important to get. And then of course also get the release timing across. I think also 570, 580 speed is enough. So it's just about practicing and getting that turn correctly. Okay, 21. What's 9 plus 10, chat? Exactly, 21. Very nice NASCAR map. There was a theoretical trick on this one, I've seen it, but I'm not sure if it's faster, but maybe someone is doing that. Let's just go with the Marsley. This turn can be done almost full speed. Get a nice landing there. Inside approach. Now minimize airtime here by going over the border and get your nose down like that, or your car is getting tilted and then you go like boop. So that's how you get the reactor boost. Then do a smooth trick and don't slide that part here. Set it up nicely. Get as much speed as possible. And I think the hardest trick here is to jump as close as possible towards the border there. And also set yourself up nicely for that turn, because you don't want to slide that one. You want to release there as well in the second lap, and then just get a small slide here that ends up with a no slide or in a 2-wheeler. And then release here a little bit again. I think you can get that one almost full speed, but it's really important that you land and set up the dirt turn. But I think this was one of the harder AT medals. But what I can just suggest to you is try to get those lines no slide, and also try to risk that part before the plastic a bit more by just releasing a little bit. You know, like you don't want to slide here. This is like just a tap release, and then you get around that corner here. You also don't want to just slide here a little bit, but not too much. And literally this map has one slide, yeah, or like one slide per lap. Also the entry into the dirt, this guy did it not that good actually. Let's go with this guy here. You want to enter it very far from the right, because with that you minimize airtime and you get a very good setup for the turn. So you see the guy here lost a lot of speed with that. Of course it's not bad, but it could be better. Then here release and of course accelerate as much as possible at the exit of the turn. Then here, like, I think this guy, Alejandro, also nice song from Lady Gaga. He gets a really good approach across. He doesn't minimize airtime there accordingly, but I think it's not that important. But he just goes from the middle and just jumps a little bit to the left. I think this one looks good. Then, what is Dopamine doing, actually? Dopamine goes for a slide there. Interesting. But I think that's too advanced. This might be too advanced. Let's see how much he actually gains with that. If he even gains time. Does he gain time with that? Not really. Not really. Telopuzio. He doesn't really gain time with that. But of course a slide is safer. So you can go for that one. But I would go for a no slide. So just approach as far from the left as possible without getting any skids. And I think that's fine. So that's what I can say about map 21. Let's go to 22. Let's see what you have to do there. So 4 more maps and then we're done. So it went quite quickly this season. Because I'm also not really interested in the campaign that much. But I hope you guys could learn something. So you have an eyesight here. Of course, you want to get the gear before. And then brake and release as little as possible. You can do that to adjust. But it's quite important to hold 4th gear even though... Or like get into 4th gear even though this person wasn't. So I thought that you will lose a little bit more time. But I think the most important part is the ending. Because you don't want to eyesight here. Also not this part, and go very tight here. If you over-angle, we already had that on map 4, you will slow down because of the penalty. So you want to angle your car in a way that you don't slow down, and also hit the red booster here. Then at the end, you can either release a bit, like that, or you can just over-jump the red booster a little bit. And yeah, also one thing is that there's a non-eyesight on this map. So of course here you have that ice slide going very inside, just accumulate as much speed as possible, get a good racing line. And then here this really reminds me of I think 23 or 24. From the other campaign. This guy actually lost the gear and didn't even lose too much time because he instantly get up again. But this turn here actually is an ice slide. I thought it's not, but just a very thin one. But this one here, this is not an ice slide. And the further you go up, the further you land on the left here. And the better your approach is. What I did on this map to obtain all AT metal, I went a bit further from the left and landed a bit more here to the right, like somewhere here. And then I went to the left. Then I have a better line, but of course then you just have more speed like that. You know, they overjump a little bit of the red booster, and that's why they're not releasing that early. You know, that person just releases somewhere at the end, general. Until a dose, by the way. Let's see what Mime Guy did. Let's see what he cooked. We already said that. So gets the gear. Also here already gear 4. Yeah, very, very clean start from Mime. And got the gear again. Can also go for a no ice slide there. But that seems a bit awkward to do. And then go up and down. And yeah, it's very, very important that you really land... Like, that you already land angled here and come from, like, far up top and go down. But if you, like, the danger, of course, is that you hit this thing or hit the inside here. So I would recommend to go a bit less extreme if you don't go for world record. Hold the gear there as well. I think one person lost it as I've heard it. and then release quite late. But Mime actually... Oh my god, look how much speed Mime lost compared to the second person. Interesting. And hello, Stormy guy. So 22. Let's go with 23. So 3 more maps. I'm hyped, I'm hyped. Actually, one of my favorite campaign maps. This one. Don't at me for that, guys, but I like this map. So get a small zoop there. Then don't slide. Set yourself up there, and you can see people are drifting. And that has a good reason. Because if you drift, you allow your car to be more angled for the turn. And then fly a bit more to the left there. This person actually flew a bit too less to the left, I would say. But it still worked. Wow, what a wild line that is. What a wild line. And then you just have the NASCAR ending here. With a release. And then this turn can almost be done full speed. I think one person actually did it full speed. And then here, you want to get as much speed as possible. There's no wallbang there. But you need to get as much speed as possible to nail the risky ending. It's top finish. And you also, I think you also need that to get that one. So you see, all cars, or all cars at the start, they're angled. And that has the reason that you get the zoop out of that one. Like, everyone gets a small speed acceleration with that zoop. How do you do that, you might ask? How do I get that angle? You see, they just steer to the right. What the fuck is that car skin, by the way? What the fuck is that car skin here? This guy, I think it is. Dude, I have to check. I have to check what that car skin is. Interesting. Interesting car skin. What is that here? Anyone in the chat here? Fuber? Ovo Misterioso? Cam No Death? Dundee? Chris? Satil? Sam? Dude, what the fuck am I seeing? Yeah, well. What the fuck is... Dude, what the fuck is that car skin, man? I have so many questions to the car skins. Like, we have that one here, and then we have this one there as well. Dude, is there another face on that one? Dude, what is wrong with you guys? What is going on? Like, look at that car skin there. There's another one of them. And he's even first right now. Look at that. Look at this car skin. Schizo. What the... Dude, this one is so fucking scuffed. Oh my god, dude. Why is there Elcon on the car skin? What the fuck is that skin, man? Redeemed when... Chatters. Redeemed 20 Mark videos at once. Anyway, let's not talk about the car skins, but... Okay, so... This map. You get the angle here. You want to get that for the zoop. And now really important that you enter this turn from quite far right. Because you want to hit a very late apex for this one here. What I did, I was even further right. And I didn't go for a drift. But I went and jumped over here and landed somewhere where the blue car, so Pussy to Paco, landed. Again, you get a zoop. Then you want to smooth steer. Because if you oversteer, you slow down. You can release here. You can also go for a drift. If you go for a drift, your car is rotating better. And your nose is going down. You do that because else you would jump. You would overjump that part here. I landed a bit earlier than those guys here. like somewhere there. But of course, you can also just overjump it like that. Be my guest. I think that's a bit more risky, but for the Author Medal or even for top 100, it's enough like that. There's just different lines, but what you have to consider is you want to minimize airtime as much as possible. You want to get your nose down with that, because that is very extreme and very important with reactor boost. And then you can also... Wow, what a line here. Let's take a look here again on Alpen's line. Look how good he got that one, actually. He just got that one full speed here. Or almost full speed. Like he tapped release a little bit. And then also got a really good ending with a lot of speed. And then made it into the ending. So very nice map. One of my favorite maps. I think if you know what to do. So just steer to the right there. You get that one. It's really good. And then of course you also go for the drift here, or you just steer to the left and you also get the nose down. And you get another zoop there at Suck. And you see it, Alpen's didn't get as much tilt as the others. And that's why he slowed down a lot. But in exchange, he got a good angle for that turn. And was able to control it quite nicely. Also, he went for a zoop. Interesting. You can go for a zoop here. Look at Wayne. What the fuck? He just used the lantern to angle his car a bit more. And then wait, huh? What the fuck was that? I mean, that's just reactor things, but it makes sense. But he got a zoop from that. And he also released a bit there. Let's see what Pia said. He also said that he got a huge zoop here. He also, I heard, went for a different line. Oh my, what the fuck is going on? Okay, so releasing and just to let the reactor boost do your thing. Piasek not in the ending community, messed up the angle here, the apex, but got this turn quite well. Maybe a bit too out. Oh fuck. Maybe a bit too outside there. Okay, so Piasek, this could have been world records. If you just stayed more on the right here, and then enter the turn a bit later. You released a bit too late with that. Also here, the push is great, but you enter the turn too far from the right. Actually, that worked out quite well. You got the best. This NASCAR looks really, really bad, actually. This NASCAR looks really bad. Not this one. Alright. Well, yeah, I mean, this one is outdated, true. Actually, also nice zoop there. Anyway, let's go to the next map. 24. We have 2 more maps. Wasn't this a cut map? Oh god, dude. Yeah, well, we have a cut here. So you can go for a Buckstead there, go for the cut. I don't really want to talk too much about that cut because you want to get another zoop while releasing and suck. Just get a lot of speed. It's not that hard to do. And then just driving the map normally into the finish. I'm not really understanding the cut too much. The only thing that I can say to you is that this map is really nice, but unfortunately it's a map with a cut. So it is what it is. But I cannot really tell you too much about the cut because I've tried it. I think the zoom is quite hard. You want to be very hesitant with your accelerator. One thing that could come into play when you do the cut. So first of all, of course, you turn around. You do a Buckstead here. Then you get reactor boost up. And this allows you to fly over there. You know, you just then take another reactor boost there, which is in this case a reactor boost up again, which allows you to fly. Nosedive, get reactor boost up again, and with that you can fly over there. You can go for a different line. I think the most important, or the quintessence here, is to not hit any tree and get control of your car. You know, you can see this person here, which is Pusty. He just braked. He was like, okay, I'm here now. I steer to the right. And you want to have reactor boost here because you need the zoop to work. If you don't get the zoop, you know, that's why you do that, due to reactor boost up. you will not be faster than without the cut. So it doesn't save that much. If you struggle to get the IT, just try to enter those wall rides clean. And also, yeah, don't go for the cut, because the cut is not really worth it. I think with a smooth entry and ending line and all of that, it should be fine. Also, the start is not too hard to get. You know, if you just PF, just and not oversteer it too much, just get all those parts. Also, the entry into the wall right there, it's fine. But if you go for the cut, well, my condolences. I will not try to explain that one any further, because I think this map is, well, not that good. Okay, last map. Map 25. And tell Away Black, what's up? Hello. What's up, man? Okay. So we have an ice map. Ice wiggle, and also minimize airtime accordingly at the start. Then don't get a slide there. AT metal. I think it's also just important to just minimize a bit of airtime at the start. Then here, I release there as well to get a good landing there. If you don't release, you land too far to the right, to the left there, and you have to oversteer. You do that because you angle already the turn with a good line and all of that. Okay. Boah. Thank you very much, Pizza.
Pizza has gifted 5 subs.
Keep grinding, Bruder. Thank you. Pizza with a 5 gifted. I really appreciate that. And I think I know who that guy is. I think it's, isn't it Achi? I think so, right? I think it's a real life friend. Or like a person that was in my class back then. Hallo Ahmed, schön dich zu sehen. Schön dich zu sehen. Dude, it's always great to see people who are still here. Yeah, Pizza. Man, I hope you're doing great, mates. I hope you're doing great. It's so cool to see people like just coming back and bouncing back. I really, really appreciate those 5 gifted, man. Thank you very, very much. Coming closer to the sub goal as well. Much appreciated. Okay, but let's try and analyze the last map, and then we're gonna play some matchmaking and try to just inherit that knowledge and try to get it in there. So again, you have an SD there, and now you're above 600 speed. So you don't want to slide there. You can get a slide here probably. Maybe there's an SD possible somewhere there, but you just want to gain control of the car and don't get a slide in there, because it's really, really hard to just hit a wall. And then here you want to oversteer, but not too early. Like right about here. Actually, no, never mind. But that's what I did. Okay, I first explain what I did to get the AT. I went for an oversteer movement to go into a slide, but it seems like you just want to smooth steer and release in order to get a no slide around that corner. Then, really important to avoid the ice tiles as much as possible, because they will let you end up in a slide and then get a nice jump into the ending. What I did, again, AT metal tactic, I slid here and I went here to the left. I went here to the left and not to the right, which you can do as well. But then of course you have to nail it here and then go over that part and not get a slide, which seems very hard. So I think that's how you want to do that in that way. Also minimize airtime there again. You want to release. Then you can also brake there to get it even better, but just a small release is required to not get landed in oversteer. And let's spectate Carol Jr. here and see what he does. So everyone goes for a no slide, release accordingly, then you can full steer again because you're below 600 speed, and then just yeah, gain control of the car and not slide too much. Wow, what an insane ending by Hobbit here, actually. Yeah, new world record is cooked. We can take a look onto that. But guys, I hope you learned something from that. You know, I do that every season, but to give you my thoughts about that campaign, I think it's a disappointment in any way. Not only scenery-wise, because it feels so blocky, but also the maps are very repetitive. It is... there's some maps that are fun, but overall it just feels very, very monotone. There are some maps with some tricks, of course, but some maps just miss the, you know, which a lot of other maps have had. You know, this ending here is cool, and also the no set is nice, but this is too little for a 25th map in the campaign. You know, if you take a look onto Spring 2021, which was, in my opinion, the best campaign, we had like just a crazy variety of maps, you know, and I think that is really missing here. And of course, I know what the aim was, to create a campaign. Without, or like just that is very accessible for console players, but you then also put in drifts and don't be like, oh yeah, you know, new players would struggle with drifts. How have you seen what Trackmania Turbo looked like, for example? Of course, they need to make that more accessible, but I think for that you have to just change the training campaign and make that a bit better. This could be a like map 4 could be a training map, or some other maps, or maybe just put advanced training and training in there. You know, that you just have different things that you have to control and how you do that, and just give some lore in that, because this game feels like Elden Ring in that way, because there are so many hidden things that you don't get explained. Let's say gears, let's say gear manipulation in that way as well, where we have seen those wiggles to get the higher RPM and get into the gear, and also no slides and all of that. It is not easy to get, and also to create a feeling for that, as well as neo sliding and whatever, but of course neo sliding is not a thing here. So yeah, like I still stick with my rating 1.5 out of 10 for this campaign, but it's still a quite disappointment to have, because the maps are all the same, or almost all the same. There's some small tricks to it. We have seen some cuts and some stuff which is cool, but for a campaign, it is not that good. Okay. So let's see the 25th world record. I mean, maybe you guys can also write your verdict or your opinion of this campaign into the chat. I would be looking forward to see how you guys think about that. So let's see what Hubbard does. Let's see what he does. Okay, so ice wiggles, of course, are still a thing, as also Emma said. I think ice wiggles is something that is... in my opinion, like, again, ice feels very, very meh, to be honest. Also, after the changes, I think the older ice was a bit better, because you just get a penalty with too much of an angle, and bobsleigh feels boring, ice wiggles feel meh. But let's see what Hobbit does. Okay, he releases here as well. Gets a good slide there, and has a lot of speed. Over 600 speed here. Going up to 700 now. Well. Okay. Interesting. So we have a wall ride. Of course, that is not in Nadeo's interest. Let's see a comparison. Oh my god, ain't no way. How much faster? Like, for real? Dude, just... Dude. Oh my, dude, what is happening? Just let me... Oh, dude. It's... Well, I mean, it gives you a better angle, but... Hobbit also had a really good start. You see, Hobbit also had a really, really good start. Maybe it's a bit better, but of course you get a penalty. I think it's even, to be honest. Yeah, Cam 2 is default cam, and that is of course very, very poor on ice. But yeah, I mean, the campaign is very monotone. A lot of maps are the same. Like, let's just talk about map 9. Like, there's one thing that is happening, and that is a gear 5 change, or like just the right turn on that one, which is really, really weird, to be honest. Yeah, that's what I mean, like the whole campaign. And Isaac. Yeah. So like, let's just take a look onto the best campaign, in my opinion, this one here. We had a lot of crazy maps on that. We had an RPG map at the end, which was probably the most fun map that I've played. I actually top 30 there. Then we had AO1 remake, had something to it. AO2, you know, you have the reactor boost. You had a dirt map. You had a mixed style map. You had this one here as well, which was super fun. A campaign like this one here. This one was also very cool. The uphill here was like, this campaign was pretty complete, to be honest. This campaign was very complete. I really like that one. This map was a bit weird though, like there was this slow-mo tech map or whatever. But this campaign was really good, but maybe that's just my perception of it. Also, Winter 2021 was really good. This one was, dude, I'm top 20. What the fuck, dude? That's when I was actually pretty good back then. What the fuck? I can't. Well, that's what. Oh, dude, wait, what? I'm at the 400, top 400. What was I here? Oh my god. Oh my. Anyway, that's it for the campaign analysis. I hope you learned something. What's your